Welcome back to Lunatea. Let's go check out the damage. Yeah, things after that earthquake we ended the last video with, things kind of aren't right. Most notably, the Lunatea is now a little bit poisonous. The basic layout of this level is exactly the same, just like it was with the last level we had to rerun, the Volcan Inferno. But a lot of little things have changed. Like having to use these ketons to grab these sets of gems under here. The important thing with these is don't get greedy. Don't try to use one to get them both, otherwise you're going to end up in the poison. And remember, you need one to get out. Just. I do really like the way this level was redesigned as the poisonous level. The music's a lot more foreboding, everything's much more washed out than it was the first time we came through. So we have a new mechanic in this cave, and they'll only appear in these caves. Basically, as you can see from the little meter at the top, that's our air meter now, because the air in this cave isn't exactly breathable. The thing to remember about it is, you have quite a fair bit of time, but you never have as much time as you think. That thing keeps ticking down, and if you get overly absorbed in the hunt for prizes, you are going to end up running out of air. As you might expect, they throw some pretty nasty puzzles at you, and a lot of long alternate paths in a bid to make you forget about that. But it is nice seeing that the statues that we were kind of curious about on our first time through this area actually do have some significance. And springboard pads. As you can see, that was cutting it a bit fine. Cutting it fine is one of the things that just will end up happening if you're struggling over a jump like that. I'm not a huge fan of that death. I thought it was a bit cheap. The general rule, though, is that checkpoints will always be by those statues. So you'll never start in an area that's going to screw you over. At least not heavily. first time those dive bombing enemies start to become an issue. Mostly because, as you'll see now, they start to appear in much greater numbers, and you have to jump past them quite a bit. So plucking them out of the air starts to become something of a key skill. They also move a lot faster than they did back in the Vulcan Inferno. As Lolo said, the earthquake changed the path to the temple, which in reality means a lot of these platforms that we went along the first time through have gotten a bit broken. And also because the water's poisonous, none of those fish are there to jump out. As a whole, even though there are more enemies in this level, it feels less populated, which kind of gets a little eerie sometimes. And you'll maybe notice it more in this cave. Bring up those things that I thought first time through were spider webs. Somebody actually pointed out they were probably, I forget what the technical term is, but kind of like fungus webs. Like if you've ever seen the Super Mario Brothers movie, then you'll know the kind of thing I'm talking about. Which makes sense given how many mushrooms are around here. Just a few bits of basic gymnastics to use one of these guys. Get them on my piece. And then we have to use them again to get past this guy. And run our air meter a bit close to the end. But yeah, more platforms that have disappeared. And more fun with killing big enemies. This whole section is actually pretty difficult. I didn't die on it at any point, but it was certainly something I was very mindful I could die on. I mean, those platforms don't stay around for long, and they are all over this level. One of the things I forgot when I was playing through this level was the idea that with this many gems around, there's probably got to be a mirror spirit knocking about somewhere. And I think think this is probably the closest I came to running out of air. See how close that meter was to the end. It can be a little worrying when you do it like that. Kind of forget. Kind of lose track of your air and you end up in an area that's not exactly easy to get out of. At least as far as making your way to the statue is concerned. Thankfully there's this little run of them here, so pretty much any time you come out of there, you're going to grab a nice refill. So yeah, with the Mirror Spirit you're supposed to grab that entire line of gems there, and probably a few more. I think if memory serves, I end the level on 146. So those 4 I grabbed were actually pretty critical in the grand scheme of things. On the plus side, it at least means it'll be easy to go back and get 150. Gems I see from now on. And running out of air again. Which is fine because there's a statue right there. With this area done, the bulk of the difficult parts of the level are pretty much over. And while I may not look it, this area is actually pretty damn tough. And we're back at the pendulum. Thankfully we do need to use it again. Except this time on those disappearing platforms. Which doesn't require anything majorly difficult. Just charging that guy up a bit. Over here, and unlike previously, where we've had quite a bit of time to, line up these shots for the pendulum. With those disappearing platforms, you really don't have much time at all. Now the dive bombers start to be properly difficult, especially to grab. They don't stay down for long, and they move at a pretty breakneck speed. And when you need at least one of them to grab something as important as a Moment Door piece, and the last one in the level at that, this section can get pretty frustrating. But let's go see the High Priestess.
Leorina, Eira Orphenant Leorina. Alun Elion, Wim, Ink Leonia, Luia, Niam Seam Leon, Leo Samaluna, Giona, Sea Leon Enna, Leo Tuat Faranta, Atuina Enna, Enough, Levi. Lutfen Santalam Sachinatu. Shares root. Hashin Frau Peru Ar Atna. Yes. Well, we'll near to down at Indiana. Please, could I not nasha wimuya? Leo. Yes. Sanata kyudan. Will nyant pula hakreaya. Listerio Lunatea. Winatsuera Brad Fonse. Eta insapa. Seales Kunanta Proirnurna. Elion Vera. Naperio Arfeps Februm Lama Lo Lurtor Atum Kloala Emina Mafir Zemtota Tuak Leolia Eliona Triple Do Manirafi? Luya, Lulutal Kulala. Ow! Wapa!
So yeah, we're back on the world map. Because now music changes. And this is the status screen in case you haven't seen it before. Let's head to the Dark Sea. And yes, dark means exactly what you think it means. Scattered throughout the level are those little light sprites. They have a limited time on them, and by shooting them or tossing an enemy at them, they'll light our way for a brief period of time. There's also a really great kind of subdued remix of the Sea of Tears theme. Yeah, so definitely take a second to listen to that in the thread. Going back to Leorina's backstory, as was just explained by the High Priestess, I do feel they missed a bit of a trick with it. Because coming so quickly off the whole idea of Lolo was bullied for maybe being too weak to be a priestess, I feel they could have done a similar thing with Leorina. That is, she was bullied as well, maybe for different reasons. But while she left to try and seek revenge, rather than do what Lolo did and use it to motivate herself to become better. Yeah, it's a very special episode of, but it's a story idea I like. Two characters that were both effectively subjected to the same thing, but still developed in very different ways. As you can see, there's quite a few fires in the sea. And you'll see why that is pretty soon. Needless to say, there's an entire new section to this level. Because obviously we can't go surfing on the fish again. Fish or bird or whatever it was we surfed on last time. It's been a while since we were last here. What we do have though is that giant ass red dot. I know people joke all the time about the size of the moon in Japanese games, but seriously, look at the size of that thing. So yeah, this is me being stupid. You can see the blue flames there, and yes, I saw them as well, but I figured I could get there and out in time. And I couldn't, so there we go. Now this section of ships and boats and bits, this is effectively just one giant little obstacle course. And there's a Momodor. The Moo on the other side doesn't actually respawn. So if you want to get it and you've accidentally used the other side, you have to go get one from there and go back for it. And now things got a little tricky because I spent way too much time dicking about with that and actually ran out of light. And yeah, Momodor. Mirror Spirit. Again, completely forgetting it would probably be around somewhere. But still getting a respectable amount of gems for it. And then I completely missed that entire column. So the 150 is completely out for this level. Those armoured moves will just wait there patiently until you come within their range. At which point they'll start marching slowly. There's a huge alternate path over here. Well, it's not really an alternate path, more a bonus path. So it's filled with prizes. And a light spirit at the end, just in case you spent a bit too much time faffing about in it. The one thing you'll notice about the two change levels here, both the poisonous Lulukusha and the Dark Sea of Tears, is they both have a time limit, effectively. Whereas in Lulukusha, it comes down to your air meter. In the Dark Sea of Tears, it comes down to the light. So both areas kind of put you against the clock, but at the same time manage to have a time limit in place that's not overly constricting and is still challenging to work with. It's a very tough balance to get right. And it's another thing that I'm very impressed with this game for getting. Even though I can't get the 150, I'm still getting those gems. And there's just one final section to take care of. And yeah, pretty much this whole section is exactly the same except for the spikes.
Move off. Down. Lunatea, or Wimada! Wanna up. Varu? Wanna up? Pelong plana astrin. meesmanna. Higuna perio sinun nasun. Higuna lot. Yamu linan. Tuhia amua. Sigana blot. Sia elomo. Higuna lot. Wawa. Magro ang bau. Awayang. Cuidado putuda. Higuanyo tap.